Good morning. Today's video is starting out waking us all up in the morning like we should with a good cup of coffee. So I'm gonna make some cowboy coffee and then start the day. Don't know what I'm gonna do for a video, but got to experiment with this new filter I got. The ND 2 to 400 variable filter. But anyway, welcome to my video. Thank you for joining me, and let's get to making some of this coffee. All right, just a pot. I'm gonna get me a nice granite ware cowboy coffee pot, really outdoor coffee pot. But this works. I've been slowly seasoning it. It's hard to do on stainless steel, but it'll eventually, it will. And we're gonna do about what do we got? 32 ounces. So we're gonna do, basically a quart. Do a quart. I like to make a little bit too much coffee that I'm really actually gonna drink, because then I can leave it in the pot and continue to season it. All right, today we're going to use the Filipino Coffee de Luna, which is an espresso ground. So we really need a nice good sized quarter cup, nice rounded quarter cup. Oh shoot, let's don't put that in yet. One of the secrets to really good cowboy coffee is heating that water up first. Let's get that heated up before we do anything else. Okay, we got that thing hot enough. I do the 2-finger test. Put my fingers in there long, and I can't leave them in there long enough or they'll cook. So we got that ready. I'm going to turn the temperature down to a medium-high kind of temperature. And here we go, right there. We got your, that's more than a quarter cup, but that's what you need. Put that coffee in there. I even put an extra tablespoon because I got more than a quart of water in there. And we're going to let that get to a rolling boil. Once we get it to a rolling boil, today we're going to cook it for about 5 minutes, boil it for about 5 minutes. You only need to do 4. The more you do it, the less acidic, but the more stout it is. So I got my timer set here, and I'll set that up once it starts to boil. So that'll take a few minutes. I'll be right back. Well, while we're waiting for that to start boiling, I just wanted to stress that when you put those grounds in that water, you put it in hot water, not cold water. Then you bring it to a rolling boil. You don't want it to go crazy. You don't want it boiling up over the top or anything like that. Just a rolling boil where you can see the liquid just rolling around inside there. That's perfect. Okay, then you let that boil for at least 4 minutes to cut the acid out of the coffee grounds. The longer you boil it, the less acidic the coffee is going to be. But the longer you boil it, the more stout it's going to be. So it'll be a stronger coffee if you boil it more than 4 minutes. I do 5 or 6 minutes depending on the ground and how much coffee I put in there. This is that espresso ground Filipino coffee, Coffee de Luna. So it's a little bit finer ground than, say, something like Folgers. Stuff that you normally get off the shelf in the red bucket, which I like, the Gourmet Classic or whatever it's called. And 100% Colombian. That's good coffee. But back to it. On these fine coffee grounds, you want to probably boil it a little bit less. You don't need quite as much coffee. I had more water, so I put in some extra. So I'm going to boil it for 5 minutes, see how it does. Okay, let's see if you can see that thing. It's a little bit, it's rolling, but it's rolling pretty strong. So I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more to about a medium heat, but it's rolling real well in there. Can you see that? I don't know. Let's go right over the top. I'm going to get all the lens all steamed up, so I don't want to do that. All right. So now we can set our timer for about 5 minutes. And that's going to take a few minutes right there. About 5 minutes to go before we can have us a cup of coffee. Well, 6. We're going to let it sit for cool off for a second after that. Cool. Okay, we're about 20 seconds away from shutting this thing off. Okay, all right, I'll take that off the heat. You got to let it sit for at least 20 seconds to bring it down to the perfect temperature, just under boiling for drinking. There actually is a perfect temperature. I don't know what it is. I know it takes about 20 seconds to get there. I just can't remember. Now we're going to take some ice cold water, and this is the trick if you don't want a mouthful of grounds and you don't want to run it through a strainer or filters. You just pour some ice cold water down in that spout if there's any grounds in there. You're supposed to pour this around the sides, but I got this flange top and I can't get to the side, so I'm just going to use it down here in the spout. It's not enough to cool off the coffee. It's just enough to make the grounds drop to the bottom. That cold water drops those grounds to the bottom. Okay. Now, after I'm done drinking all the coffee I want to drink, I'm going to stick it back on that burner, cook it for a total of 10 minutes, and then let it sit all day. And that is going to continue to season the pot. If this was a cast iron pot or a graniteware pot, it'd be so much faster. The stainless steel takes a long time to season. Look at that, some dark coffee right there. That's going to be good. I may have put too much in, but oh well, it's the way it goes. I'm going to leave that on because I'm going to be cooking that. Nah, I'll turn it off for now. I'm going to be cooking that some more. But I don't know if you can see that. There's no grounds in that coffee. Let's lift it up here. There's no grounds in that coffee at all. That's what that ice cold water does. Well, once again, thank you for joining me. And this is just morning coffee. The rest of the day is ahead. Stay tuned. Okay. Saturday, we cleaned up the weeds out of the yard, and there were a lot. you doing, monkey? Where'd you go? Ran away. Anyway, looking so much nicer now. Everything all cleaned up. Rose bush is looking pretty. Here's my tree. It'll be orange this fall. It starts out growing kind of purple or an orange, really. And then during the summer it turns all green like that. You kind of get really pretty yellow-green, yellows and stuff. These colors aren't really good. Let me see if I can get the colors in there better. If I darken this down, maybe it'll do that. No, it's not going to do it. But anyway, I had help. Joel from Guatemala. He's our friend. He comes over and helps us out a lot. Anyway, he did a very excellent job. Because I'm telling you, there was no dirt. You couldn't see the dirt with all the weeds that were growing and grass that was growing inside these flower beds. This one, this is all coming down. My friend next door, Reg, he's going to have his guys cut all these trees down, these bushes, and we're just going to let the grass grow between the property. It's starting to rain. I need to hurry up. I get stuck out here in the rain. Back into the backyard. Again, there were weeds growing halfway up the side of the house. It was pretty bad. But he did a fantastic job cleaning everything up. And I don't know if you remember some of the old footage and photos I've posted, but but all the trees, as you can see, have been cut down back here. So it looks so much better. Let me get out in here into the yard. Oh, by the way, let me get up here before it starts to rain a lot and show you the area. Right over there. That's where I'm going to be digging the outdoor campfire cookout pit and barbecue area. It's going to be nice, huh? I got to run inside because it's really starting to rain. All right, we're in a hurry. This was just a test of the ND filter. It works fine. I'll have to get used to it on some manual settings. But I was hoping for a really sunny day. But we've got this huge dark cloud over us, so I can't really show you the effects of kicking in that filter and knocking out the brightness. All right, let's get back in the house quickly. Well, that was that. Anyway, so much for today's video. I'll add more later. Uh-oh. Forgot to move the car.